This is part 2 of my Urban Bug Out Bag video series. If you haven't seen part 1, make sure you go back and watch that one before watching this one. That'll help make this one make a little bit more sense. So in the last video, we went through the items that are in these outer pockets that you see here. So we're going to move on forward with the items that are in this front pocket, which consists of the items from my personal compartment. So let's get started. One of the features of the Rush 72 backpack is this little back storage area that you see here just behind this compartment. I keep a few little items in here that I want to put on immediately, and those are just a set of work gloves and then also a paracord bracelet. Now I normally don't wear these kind of bracelets, but in a bug out scenario I would. So I have the work gloves and the paracord bracelet immediately behind this little pocket here. Let's unzip this personal compartment now. So here are all the items that I have in here. It's also labeled personal. So let's go through all the items and little pouches individually. We'll start here at the top. I store 3 items in this little zippered pouch that you see here. So let's go through some of those items now. This is actually part of my communications compartment. This is the Carson Monocular. Open it up. I recently ordered this and I'm really happy with it so far. It's a nice little monocular set. If it had a nicer storage case, I would store it on the outside of the backpack, but it doesn't, so right now it's stored inside. Next, I have the little rechargeable flashlight that comes with the Goal Zero charging kit. We'll talk about that later. So this is a rechargeable flashlight. And then lastly, I wear glasses, so I wanted to have a backup pair of glasses. So this is my little glasses sub-compartment. So let's go through these items now. Without my glasses, I'm as blind as a bat, so I wanted to have an eyes sub-compartment that contained a backup pair of glasses as well as some other items in relation to my eyes. So let's open this up now. So the first item that you see here are my old glasses. I decided to keep them and I updated the lenses on them to my newest prescription. So I have a backup pair of glasses. I also kept the old lenses from that pair of glasses, so it has the older prescription, but just in case I were to break my main pair of glasses and maybe the lenses in the old pair, I would still have an additional set of lenses, and they're fairly lightweight, so I decided to keep them in there. I also have a little glasses repair kit. This is made by Koglins. I have some Vicine just for general eye care, and then also a glasses cleaning cloth. And those are all the items from my eyes sub-compartment. Moving forward, I have this small little electronics kit in a waterproof bag, as well as this little Barter Kit. So let's go through all the items that are included in these little sub-compartments. Let's go through some of the electronic items that I carry in this little Koglins waterproof bag. I have items from my personal compartment as well as my communications compartment in here. So let me put them all on the table and I'll show you what I carry. Here are all the items from that little electronics bag spread out on the table. So let's go through all of them now, starting here in the top left-hand corner. So the first item that I have, this is a little Sansa Mp3 Player. It's preloaded with a bunch of songs that I really like, as well as some JVC Skull Candy headphones. So I wanted to have some form of music entertainment with me. And this charges using USB mini cable. And we'll talk about that more later. The next item that I have, this is a little Motorola two-way talkabout radio. This one gets its power either from battery or from a USB mini cable. You could charge it either way with the docking station or with just a USB. So I have the docking station and the other one of these radios in Miss Urban Prepper's bug out bag. So she's responsible for the docking station. So very important task. The next item that we'll go over, this is the Sangeun DT400W emergency pocket radio. It's an awesome little radio. I have a review. I'll put an annotation. And here is the external antenna that comes with it, as well as an extra set of headphones which could also serve as an antenna. Next item, this is a fully charged extra cell phone battery. Next, I wanted to carry a small little lightweight calculator, and I wanted to have this just in case I needed to do some calculations either on a map or maybe for dividing out food in any kind of emergency scenario. Maybe my math isn't going to be as good. And it comes with this nice little metric conversion table. So this is made by Aurora. It's the HC110X. Next, I wanted to have some charging capabilities for some of the electronic devices. Not all bug out scenarios is the power going to be totally out. So if it is back on, I want to be able to charge some of my devices. So I have the charging adapter, and then this connects through USB through multiple cables. So here are the cables that I have. I have one USB mini cable, and then I have 2 USB micro cables. So the micro cables are for devices such as my cell phone, and then my bug out library, which is on the Barnes & Noble Nook. And then the mini cable could be used for devices such as the MP3 player and the Motorola talk about radio. And lastly, I have, just in case I wanted to charge some items while on the road in a bug-out type car, I have this little charging device that connects to the cigarette lighter. This is made by Just Wireless, and you're able to charge 2 devices using it. So I could charge both, say, for example, the walkie-talkie and the MP3 player all at once while I'm driving. So those are all the items that I carry in that little electronics bag. This is the little barter kit that I keep with my personal compartment. There's only a few items in it in relation to bartering. The first item is a pack of cigarettes. I don't smoke, but I know a lot of people that do smoke, and in a stressful situation, they're going to want to have their cigarettes. So I decided to keep 1 pack of cigarettes with me. The only problem with this is that I have to cycle it out once a year since these do go bad. But since I know a lot of people that smoke, I just trade it out with them. Next I have a 1 ounce Silver Eagle. I scaled it back from 4 of these to 1 just because I know in a bug out situation people are probably going to start shaving these Silver Eagles, and I didn't want to start carrying a digital scale with me to make sure that it was accurate, but I decided to keep only 1 with me. And then next I have 2 Bic lighters because everyone's going to want to make fire in a bug out scenario, so I decided to keep 2 extra Bic lighters. And those are the items in this little barter kit. Continuing on, in this little pocket that you see here, I have a few additional items. Let me take them out now. First item are some maps of my local region. So I have some city maps that are laminated as well as a state map. And I also include a little Breton compass with them. And they're stored in this little waterproof bag. So I have some maps and a compass. Next item, this is my bug out library, which we've talked about before. It's stored on a Barnes & Noble Nook, and I have a large variety of books, PDFs, manuals for survival, for entertainment. I'll put an annotation here to the top left-hand corner which shows some of the books and the PDFs that are included with this bug out library. But this is my Barnes & Noble Nook bug out library. The next item I'd like to show you is this little Rei Keychain Thermometer, and I keep this on this little hook that's connected to the backpack. So a little thermometer. In this little pocket here, I have a book with me, and that is the SAS Survival Guide. I'd like to have one kind of survival, a hard copy of a survival guide book, and this is the one I want to keep with me. So this is the handheld version of it. Let's move forward. I don't have anything in this pocket right now. In this pocket that you see here, dig in there, I have some items for entertainment. So I have a deck of cards and some dice. Let's see if there's anything else in there. Okay, that's that in that one. All right, let's go on to the next pocket. There's all sorts of pockets in this Rush 72, and I didn't fill all of them up, but I have many of them. So let's open this up. So I have a little notepad with me. This is a Write and Rain all-weather notebook. And then in addition, I also have, let's see if I can open it up. This is my disaster resource book, and this one's empty right now for the sake of this video. I didn't want to include all my information in it, but I have one that's completely filled out with information for emergencies, that not only for myself with contact numbers, things like that, but for others that are using some of the items from this backpack. So this is a little disaster resource book. I'll also be including some family photos in it as well. That's for morale purposes. And lastly, I have a little pocket here which has an additional compartment, which I'll show you next. So this is a little office supplies bag. It's another Eagle Creek bag in the packet system. So let's open this up and I'll show you what I have in here. Here are all the items from that little bag. I have 2 of the 0.9mm Pentel mechanical pencils, 2 of the Zebra F701 pens, 2 black Sharpies, 1 Stanley 4-in-1 screwdriver set. I also have a little pen style knife sharpener. I carry 2 of these Kingston 8GB thumb drives. One of them is completely blank. There's nothing on it. The second one has Ubuntu Linux pre-installed on it, in addition to some personal documents which I have encrypted on there. Next, I have just a little bag with some earplugs in it. I also have some refills for the Zebra pens. And then lastly, I have this little micro SD card. It's a 4GB card. It has a backup copy of my bug out library on it, and I have this little adapter for SD as well. And those are all the items from that little bag. Just have a few more items in this personal compartment. Down at the bottom here, I have A Go Light travel umbrella. You've seen this before in my Urban EDC backpack. It's a very lightweight and compactable umbrella. I wanted to have some form of rain protection since I live in the western Washington region. And then lastly, I have this little zippered pocket that you see here. I don't have it labeled, and that's because I wanted to keep it fairly discreet, because inside of there I keep my money compartment. So let's go through the items in this compartment now. I have $1,000 cash in my money compartment, and this goes along with Dave Ramsey's book, The Total Money Makeover. And in that book he talks about having $1,000 cash in your home at all times in case of an emergency. An emergency for him means like your car breaks down and you need to have a sudden repair or an unexpected bill comes up. So for us, an emergency is a bug out scenario. And in not all bug out scenarios is it going to be a total cashless society. You know, maybe the power will be out for 2 weeks because I'm in a blizzard. In those cases, I'll still want to have some cash on hand because cash will be king in those scenarios in case I need to buy food or something like that. So I have a wide variety of bills here. I have one $100 bill, one $50 bill, I have 25 $20 bills, I have 20 $10 bills, 20 $5 bills, 50 $1 bills, and I have $2 in quarters. And that wraps up all the items that I include in my personal compartment. It's time to open up the main compartment of the Rush 72 backpack. It features a clamshell opening which you have to detach all of these little clips that you see on the sides here. So let's open those up and I'll show you what I have inside. Here's what the main compartment of the Urban Bug Out bag looks like when you open it up. So as you can see, I have various compartments stored in here. I have the hygiene, cooking, communications. Moving on to the main pocket area, I have food, clothing, and medical. So let's go through some of these items now. Here's where I store my hygiene compartment. So let's unzip this little storage pocket area. And you'll see yet again another Eagle Creek packet system storage bag labeled hygiene. So let's take a look at the items inside of it. Here are all the items for my hygiene compartment. Let's go through all of them now from left to right. We'll start here at the top. So I have a little toothbrush, toothpaste, and dental floss. Here's a bar of soap. This is Burt's Bees lip balm. Here's some deodorant, a Mach 3 razor, toenail clippers. These are a few Tide travel sink packets for washing clothes in a sink. Some Wet Ones antibacterial hand wipes. Next we have some instant hand sanitizer gel, some Eucerin daily moisturizer. Next I have some Q-tips. Over here I have a little container of bag balm, and this would be used not only for like antibacterial but also as makeshift shaving cream if you mix it with water, and then also you could use it as a fire starter as well. Next I have some insect repellent, and lastly, every prepper's favorite, one tampon. Never know when you might need to save the day. And those are all the items for my hygiene compartment. Here's where I store the remaining items of my cooking compartment. I also have two additional items that are technically included with the hygiene compartment. I just couldn't fit them in this little storage pocket area. And those are a U-Dig-It camping shovel, and then also just a little roll of toilet paper. So you can take it out. There we go. So some toilet paper. But the main items included in this pocket area are my cooking compartment items. So let's take a look at them. Here's my cooking compartment, which I store in the main section of the backpack for my Urban Bug Out bag. And the storage container, yes, is another Eagle Creek packet system containers. So just going on the outside here, I have a little Enrit towel. It's a nice little camping towel. So let's just open it up. This one is labeled orange for cooking. So the first item that I'll pull out, this is a Sea to Summit collapsible bowl. Next, it came out by itself, a Bic lighter. Moving on. These are also made by Sea to Summit. These are titanium utensils, so fork, spoon, and knife. I also have this came with the Snow Peak set that I got, just a spork, so a backup utensil. Next I have just a little mini spatula if I need to do any kind of cleaning of any of the pots. Here's just a little cheap little fire steel. I want to have a few methods of making fire in this compartment as well. This next item that I have here, this is the GSI Spice Missile, and it has a variety of different spices included in it because I like having spices when I cook, so there's that. In addition to the Spice Missile, I also have just some containers of salt and pepper for additional spices and seasoning. Here's an extra long spoon for getting deep inside of the pot for cooking. So I wanted to have one of those as well. Very lightweight, made by REI. The next item that you see here is just a little sponge that I could use for cleaning. And the last item that I have, this is just a little cutting board, and it helps keep this compartment nice and flat. So in addition to the items that we showed earlier, that includes everything in my cooking compartment. Let's take a look inside of this little compartment area for the communications compartment. In here I have yet another Eagle Creek packet system storage bag. It's labeled yellow for communications, so let's take a look inside of this bag. Here are the items in my communications compartment. I wanted to have a variety of different methods for communicating or signaling for help, since not all bug out scenarios are going to be end of the world as we know it type scenarios, and I wanted to have it both for daylight and for nighttime. So I have 3 of these little chemical lights. They last for around 12 hours each, and they're fairly lightweight. So I have 3 of those. This is the Phoenix LD40 accessories kit. It comes with little add-on lenses and lanterns for the Phoenix LD40 flashlight. Next, I have a cheap little laser pointer. These things go a great distance, and you could use them in fog as well. So I wanted to have one of these with me. The next item, this is the Orion Pocket Rocket Aerial Signal Kit. So basically it's, you hold this little device and you have 4 of these little rockets that you could shoot up, and it works both at daylight and nighttime, and they're usually found on ships that's required to have a certain amount of signaling devices. So I wanted one of those. For nighttime signaling, I have this Orion handheld marine red signal flare. And then lastly, for daytime, I have the Orion handheld orange smoke signal. So this gives off a great amount of orange smoke. And those are the items that I carry in the communications compartment. Now that we're done with the communications compartment, let's move on to all the items stored in the main pocket area of the Rush 72 backpack. So I think to make this video a little bit easier, what I'm going to do is take all of these out and show you these compartments individually first, and then the remaining items that are inside of the backpack. Here's what the main compartment looks like without all of those additional items stored inside of it. So let's go through some of these little miscellaneous items that you see here now, and then we'll continue moving forward with the compartments. Starting off on the left, we have the Sven saw. This is a nice little portable camping saw that's part of my tools compartment. On the right we have, made by K-Bar, this is the Becker BK2 fixed blade knife. I wanted to have a high quality knife that I could use for chopping wood. This is also part of my tools compartment. You'll see the little straw here for the water bladder that's in the back storage compartment. And then next I have 2 N95 respirator masks. So I like to have those stored in the main compartment area as well. Before moving on to the items that you see stored here in this little zippered pocket area, let's move on to this section, which is the tools compartment. So let me open this up. And here we have my tools compartment. Let's open it up and show you what I have. Let's go through the items in my tools compartment. Now this particular compartment is very scaled down compared to the original video that I made on this, just to help save on weight. So this thing only weighs maybe a couple pounds now. So let's go through the items now. Here are all the items for my tool bag. Let's go through all of them now, starting from the right. So the first item that I have here, this is the Stanley Hacksaw. It's a very affordable and lightweight hacksaw. Next, these are made by Nipex. These are bolt cutters, and they're very nice bolt cutters just in case you need to cut through something like a chain link fence. Up here at the top I have 7 zip ties. I have 1 Sharpie pen. This is just a bunch of miscellaneous nails and pins and fastening devices, things like that. I have this little 4-in-1 precision screwdriver set. Another lightweight tool. Next, these are some stainless steel scissors made by Klein Tools. They're awesome scissors, and they come with this little, I don't know if you could see it, there's some wire strippers there too. Also by Klein Tools, I have this little voltage tester. So not all bug out scenarios are going to necessarily have the power out, so I wanted to be able to do some kind of electrical repair if need be. And those kind of go along with these little miscellaneous electrical connectors that I have here in these bags. Next, I have a multi-bit Stanley screwdriver set. Down here at the bottom, to go along with the Leatherman Charge multi-tool, I have some of the Leatherman Charge bits that go along with it. Next, this is made by Jones. This is a Silcock 4-way lawn faucet key. And basically you use this, you see this a lot in urban environments where a building will have a water faucet on the outside of the building, but they won't necessarily have a handle on it. And so having a device like this will be able to easily access that water supply if I need it. So I wanted to have that included. Next, I have one Fresnel Lens. This is some electrical tape and some Gorilla duct tape. Over here I have a little travel sewing kit just in case I need to do any kind of repair on the backpack or any items of clothes. Next I have a knife sharpener. This is made by Smith's. Over here I have some Gorilla super glue, some razor blades, and then last but not least I have the Rescue Me. This is like a glass punch, and you also are able to cut through a seatbelt if you need to. So it's designed to have in your car with you, but I'm putting it into my bug out bag for the glass punch capabilities. And those are all the items from my tool compartment. In addition to the tools compartment, I also store an additional item in this little tools pocket area, and that is the Goal Zero Adventure 10 Solar Panel Kit. The Goal Zero Adventure 10 Solar Panel Kit allows me to charge multiple electronic devices in the case that I do not have electricity using solar power. So it allows me to also charge some AA batteries and charge different devices using USB and other methods. So this is a nice little kit to include with the Urban Bug Out Bag. I have a few additional items stored in this little zippered pocket area of the main compartment. So let me open those up right now. So the first item that I'd like to show you is part of my eye protection. I have some normal swimming goggles, and this is kind of included with my volcanic eruption disaster kit. I want to have some method of protecting my eyes. So some swimming goggles. Next, this is part of the Goal Zero Adventure 10 solar panel kit. It's just some of the cables that come with it. So I won't go into those in any detail. Next I have 50 feet of 550 paracord. This is made by GI Plus. So 50 feet of paracord. And then lastly, in this little Pelican case, I have some batteries. So let me open these up and show you. I have a variety of spare batteries stored in this little Pelican case. So I have some AAA batteries, some lithium AA batteries, some batteries for the little laser pointer. I even have a 9-volt battery, even though I don't have any 9-volt items. I just wanted to have one just in case I needed it. So in this little case, it's just a variety of different battery types. That concludes all the items that I have in the main compartment area of the Urban Bug Out Bag. Let's take one final break in this video series and we'll finish it up with part 3, in which we'll go over the final 3 compartments, which are the food compartment, the clothing compartment, the medical compartment, and then we'll do an overall summary of this Urban Bug Out Bag project. I hope that you guys are enjoying it so far. Talk to you more soon.